Alright guys, today I want to talk to you about myself a little bit and what I'm going to be doing with my truck this year. I'm going to tell you a little bit about where it's at right now and some things that are going on in my life. So let's just dive right into it. So just a little bit about me. My name is Daniel. I'm from North Carolina, a little small town just south of Raleigh. Fell in love with off-roading once this truck, came into my possession, and I got a chance to get out and experience what, the world had to offer. Got to really experience more than I thought that I ever could. I got to meet a lot of really awesome people and see some sights that, most folks will never get a chance to see. So that really hooked me in. This truck allowed me to meet my girlfriend. We were actually the only Toyota owners at an off-road meet. She showed up, that kind of sparked the conversation, and we've been pretty much inseparable ever since. So one thing we decided to do was get out of the rat race. So we took up full-time RVing. We spent the last summer in Colorado. We're now in California, and we're just using this opportunity and the freedom to get out and explore different areas and see the off-roading that the US has to offer. So we do a lot of other things, but I'm going to try to keep it focused on my truck, or at least the things that my truck allows me to do. So that's a little bit of what you can expect here, and just a little bit of my background. So I do have a history in the automotive industry. Before I started RVing and doing the kind of work that I do now, I was working in shops, and I really enjoyed it. It was relaxing for me. I enjoy the problem solving. I enjoy the hands-on. So this kind of still allows me to do a lot of the same things. Obviously, the trucks are never 100% on the trail. Sometimes things break. Sometimes you got to make do and figure things out. And obviously there's a lot of maintenance and upkeep that comes with owning an older vehicle like this. So that kind of stuff really allows me to enjoy the mechanic side of things, and the hands-on side of things without just getting bogged down in the everyday. So it really allows me to be able to do this, especially with more of a budget. I've got to be mindful of what I spend. So being able to do a lot of things myself has really helped me been able to expand, in what I'm able to do. So this year I'm going to be definitely trying to get a lot more upgrades done. And you'll be able to follow along with that here. So make sure that you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, check out the notifications, hit that bell so that you can find out what I'm doing. I'm going to be posting weekly. I'm shooting for every Sunday morning. I figure most people have got a laid back schedule on Sunday, and that way you'll have a chance to check out the video once a week. So thanks for tuning in with me, guys, and I hope that you enjoy the journey. Let's check out the front of the truck. So I started with a 3-inch body lift, combined that with a polyurethane body mount bushing set from Energy Suspension, and also have an 1.5-inch ball joint spacers up front. So the ball joint spacers do two things. It levels out the truck so that the front sits at the same height of the rear, and it also adds some wheel travel up front, which is nice with the IFS. So since the IFS is kind of limited, I wanted to go ahead and put some low profile bump stops in there. That's also from Energy Suspension. So I'm at about an extra 2.5 inches of wheel travel in the front. So I had to upgrade the shocks. So I went with Pro Comp ES 3000 shocks. I have those front and rear, 11 inches in the front, 14 inches in the rear. Been great, really happy with that setup. And also obviously got some bigger tires going on. So these are 35-inch Mastercraft tires. They are made by Cooper, so that's a nice American brand. And I've got those on 15-inch centerline wheels. So with those larger wheels, obviously it's a lot harder for everything to turn. So got 529 nitro gears front and rear. I had the differentials built by East Coast Gear Supply. Been really happy with them so far. The combination with the 35s has just been phenomenal. So this truck is a 3.4 automatic. So it did have a little bit of a higher ratio, and it needs it with the automatic. So the 529 has been great. Really happy with that, and if you're on 35s, I'd recommend that you would look into doing the same yourself. So nighttime, things get a little dark. So under the lenses here, the faded one is some Hikari LEDs. That's pretty much just an Amazon special. They are not projector style. I've had great luck with them, shining on like a wall. You can see that they put out a good beam, and I haven't had any trouble with distracting drivers or anything like that. So that's been an upgrade I've been really happy with. Also paired that with a Rigid Industries 10-inch LED light bar. So I'm not big on a big gaudy light bar. I'd rather not have one at all, but you really need the extra light. So the small 10-inch puts out great. I forget the lumen output, I'd have to look it back up, but being that I wanted something small with a high output, that fit the bill. So I've been really happy with that as well. So Let's go ahead and move on to the back of the truck, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I've got going on there. All right, here we are at the bed of the truck, guys. You can see I got a recovery jack mounted. That's a 54-inch farm jack. Most importantly, I got it mounted with a Warrior off-road product bed mount, so I'm really happy with that. I think it's meant to be like a universal mount, but I got a little bit of weight over the tire, got some weight in the rear, and it's just a great spot for it. So I got a weatherproof cover for it on the way, keep it out of the elements. Also got a 5-foot fire stick antenna, go with the CB I'll tell you about here in a little bit. That's on just a generic mount with a spring attached. So really happy with this. I'm going to be expanding my outdoor bed setup, get some fuel cells and try to get some water and that kind of stuff going on back here. I need a spare tire mount, so I'm going to try to get a bed mounted tire mount this year. But right now that's how it stands. I'm really happy with this setup. Very highly recommend the off-road jack mount if you need a solution like that. Couldn't really do much better. Has an option to lock it. And then let's scoot under the truck. So I haven't done a whole lot back here with the suspension. It is stock leaf springs, stock shackles. Again, I have plans to do some stuff back here as well. You can see the ProComp shocks under there. And then I have a trail gear extended brake line. That's a braided steel brake line. Just because I do have some extra travel with the shocks. Definitely help get things moving back here. And that's really all there is to it for the most part. All right, let's swing on into the interior. There's the worst of my interior damage. I do have a pretty good rip in my seat. Otherwise, it's in decent shape. So the first thing you might notice here is this is a CRKT Sweet Kiss dagger. Really happy with that. Never know when you're gonna need a knife on the trail. I usually keep one on me, but it's always nice to have a dedicated knife. Keep it with the truck. So I do have some floor mats, old beat up steering wheel cover. Who really cares about that stuff, really? I mean, come on. So here's the center of it all. The Cobra 29 LTD Classic. Really happy with this CB. That was a Christmas present from my girlfriend. She did a great job. It came as a bundle with the gear keeper up here. Keep things out of the way, but still super accessible. And then underneath the speaker, because my truck's pretty loud and getting on the, getting down the highway, it can really make a lot of noise. So I'm super happy with that. And of course, I know you noticed the condor. That's a hand knit condor from Peru. Another thing my girlfriend gave me. So I'm stoked about that as well. Got a JVC stereo unit. It's an old school unit I had in a Celica that I bought actually. So you see I got my audio out. This is not a Bluetooth capable setup, so ran that behind the dash. It's fairly out of the way. Then got a little power setup to power a Bluetooth receiver so that my jams can come through the Bluetooth instead of all the cords. The one cord I have here is for my phone. Got this phone mount up here. I do use my phone for navigation on the trails. This is a magnetic setup and it's strong enough to keep my phone on the trails in most situations. If I'm doing pretty tough obstacle and I think I'm going to experience like some wheel hop and the truck might be bouncing around, I'll take it down. But for the most part, 9 out of 10 times you can leave it up there. Move on to the back of the truck here. I do have two 12-inch subs on a 1000-watt amp. Have a little bit of first aid back there because you got to stay safe. You never know what's going to happen on the trails. I do have this strapped down. So that's probably not the best solution, but I have a ratchet strap holding that down in case of a bad situation. A little bit of tools. There's one tool bag, another tool bag. We'll take a look at the other side of the truck here in just a second. One thing I want to show you before we move on, I do have some LED lights, just a little fun thing. And then I forgot to mention my brake controller, just in case I'm towing. And of course, you got to keep your tire gauge on hand, you never know. All right, swinging on in the passenger side. So I do keep a towel. You never know when you're going to be playing around in the mud, whether by choice or not. Some more tools. I'll go over the things I carry on the trail in another video. Under here is a really nice storage area that the T has. Got my fire extinguisher mounted right here, ready to go at the passenger area. And then under here I keep things like the larger tools. I got some spare parts, rags, that kind of thing. And that's pretty much the interior, guys. There's not a whole lot to it. I try to keep it clean. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. I do appreciate you joining me. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel for new videos every Sunday morning, and make sure to hit that bell if you want a notification for when I post something new. Alright guys, thanks again, and we'll see you next week.